All right, welcome back to Unlock Your Minds. I'm your host, co-host, Andre Pennington with Jason Beauvais, the main man of the hour. Let's talk about breakthroughs.
Ooh, this is a good topic today.
Yeah. So one of the things that's happening in universal wealth is we're having big breakthroughs. And if you just watch the social media, what you're going to see is like celebration and everybody happy. But here's a fact that you cannot avoid. When you're about to have a breakthrough, there's going to be some destruction and reconstruction,
Fact.
right? And this is where people stop, in my opinion,
No, I did 100%.
right? So I know personally, I had a big win over the weekend,
Massive
win, and an equally massive setback, right? Why? Right? I want you to think about, why does that happen? What do you think?
Well, let me say this before we get to that one part. I think it's important, right? So, does it only happen once along the journey? I think too, it's not like, oh, I just had, like, maybe someone's like, I just went through mine. And now, bro, it happens over and over. As you keep elevating, these things keep happening, right? Because you're moving in another thing. So I think one thing to really touch on first is, like, we're talking about one that's recent with us right now. Because, dude, we got called this week. Oh, dude, people that know what's going on. Man, that was a huge thing this weekend. And
Right.
man, and it is. There's a lot of winning going on, which is fantastic, right? And then I think they just think like just everything else just like flows the same way. But I think what we need to realize is, even when we were starting out, you go through that. Then you have a breakthrough with turbulence, it's going to keep happening as you evolve in life. So it's not a one-time thing.
No.
Right. And the bigger you get, it just amplifies what that is, right? Maybe you see what everyone sees in sports with athletes, you see it with business people, right? But it's just part. I think, honestly, dude, I'm such a simpleton. Like, it's just part of the game.
It's part of the game. Yeah.
Like, there's not a scientist. Like, well, it's just, dude, it's part of the journey, bro. Like, as you evolve, you're one trying to elevate yourself, and it's like a new thing for you. And then as big moments happen, it's just the way of the universe, man. Like, it either sometimes it flows, it synchronizes and flows together. But then sometimes you gotta. It's what you're gonna what are you gonna focus on? And you just said off camera, you're like, do you focus on the breakthrough, or do you focus on what setbacks kind of happening at the same moment? But yeah, I just think it's part of the process. I think we've done it so many times now. Like, to me, it's just, all right,
Here it is.
Here it is. Like, and you said something important. This is where most people stop, because they think it's a sign in the opposite direction, or they haven't mentally built their brain or their mind up enough to know that it's coming. But dude, even off camera, I mean, let's be real. I mean, the last 2 days we've been talking through it.
Yep.
There's a lot of massive movement happening, and then there's just a lot of things that are happening outside at the same moment. But dude, it's which path are you going to choose? Are you going to focus on the breakthrough? And you just said this. Do we focus there, or do you slow that down and now focus here? Which we know, if we focus here, where is that taking us? You're going right back down the lane. So you got to keep focused on the breakthrough. And there's self-analyzation through there too as you do it.
Well, I think it's interesting because we're humans.
Yes.
Right? And you have logic and you have emotion. But here's what I think. I think there's it's twofold. One, I think in order to get to where you're going, the you of previous literally has to die.
It dies, bro.
Like, you have to have a different mindset. You have to think differently about life. And when that starts happening, you see everything different. And then you start challenging yourself to act better, act from a higher purpose, and that creates tension, right? And then you're a human, and the emotions are like this: I'm not comfortable. And for whatever reason, our body, our emotions are like, stop moving.
Yes.
Stop, right? And it's that fear that stops people and keeps people in the same spot, right? And then I think of it also on a whole different playing field, right? Like, all we're trying to do is connect with the universe.
Yep.
And we're trying to do the next right thing, right? And if you believe in God, then there has to be a devil.
Yep.
Right? And that's where the attacks happen. When you're about to do something that's God worthy, that's when the devil attacks. And you got to know that starting out, right? And it's funny, like you said, it's repetitive if you keep advancing, right? If you keep following the orders. And at a certain point, I'd like to think I'll get to the point of like, give me your best shot.
Yes.
You know? Like, what's funny though, is I was ahead of it this time. I wasn't blindsided. I knew there were going to be changes. And I am ready,
Yes.
right? There's zero chance, zero, that I don't make the next right choice.
Well, I think the big thing you said, and people ask, like, what are action items? Well, the action item is you have to keep focused on the goal or the task at hand. Obviously, you have to address what's going on. Let's be real. You can't be like a numb human to
No.
what's all happening. But at the end of the day, people ask, like, what do? I got up at 3:30 again this morning. I did the same exact thing I do every day. Like, if you're, they always say consistency beats talent or beats that stuff every day, but they're kind of like slogans that go on. But the reality is it's really true. Like,
Yep.
your habits and your rituals are going to keep you on a path, right? To make you win, right? So whenever stuff happens like this for me, I'm like, we had a deep talk yesterday and my alarm went off and I'm like, all right, well, here's what I know how to do. I got to get back up, do the things I know how to do. By the way, Des gave me this Ladder app where you have like this virtual online, like, personal trainer. This guy's fucking me up, dude. Like, I mean, serious. This is off subject a little bit, but he is kicking my ass. Like, I don't even know the guy. I want to punch him. And he's like, come on, dude, push through, right? And I can't move my legs. Like, just real quick, this is off subject. Sorry, guys. I can't move my legs right now. But it goes to this, right? I've been going to the gym every day, right? 2019, right? Going after it, hitting it, doing it, right? But I kind of do my own thing, right? So also in this, we have each other. This is very important, dude. Like, we are able to call each other, talk about what's all going on, talk about the success, talk about how we're feeling. I asked, I'm not going to get on, but I asked you a question during the day yesterday. We had a 2-hour meeting.
Yep.
And then you called me later like, hey, what did you mean by that? Like, are you telling me that? And I'm like, no, just first of all, we're boys. I just wanted to ask a question that most people probably aren't going to ask you, but who's your coach or who's your boy or who's your running mate when you're going through these things that you can lean on and have a conversation with to help? Like that's also another thing. Like at the end of the day, like, bro, you go through these breakthroughs and these obstacles alone, it's over, bro.
Yeah.
It's very hard. So, and I've done them by myself and it's a nightmare. And then I've done them with people and it's there. And at the end of the day, we're all trying to help each other get where we have to go. But I think too, having someone that you're actually connected to and running with, and bro, this is what I laugh about. And Marcus and Lee are here and they're around us every day. Me and you couldn't be more different. The way we carry ourselves. Oh yeah. It's because wait, hold on. I have turn-ons in there. Right? No, but I'm saying, like, I know they're not going to come across the screen, but bro, we are two
completely different
people, right?
Yep.
The way that we even attack business at times, but dude, there's still a connectivity that we have that keeps us moving in a direction. So it's not like you're always going to find like that person that everything you do the same and the way you eat's the same, right? Like, bro, like, I know there's decisions I make on a daily basis where you're like, what the fuck is that guy doing? And you do things like, what the fuck is that guy doing? Like, what the heck? But when it comes to things like this, the alignment's there for the breakthrough where we're going next, right? And then it does it. But I think that's one. And then whatever your consistent act, dude, I'll just use an example. Let's talk real time. Okay. Yes, the greatest thing happened, the breakthrough. And then we have some obstacles happening. I was with you at 8 o'clock in the morning doing our meeting like we do. And then I watched you do your stuff you do.
Yeah.
The activity doesn't change because it's not we don't emotionally attach to it. Like, you have to handle it. But I think that's how someone's asked me, like, how do you do it? Well, first of all, if you don't have any type of consistent action you do every day, whether it's your work ethic, whether it's working, like, you don't have a system, you're going to just keep going like this, back and forth.
Yep.
But if you have a system, you dive back into that, you handle what has to handle, you make decisions that we have to make or not make, and then you move through it. But I think that's it. And then having who you running with, dude. Like, at the end of the day, we have a lot of people following us that are eventually that we're trying to make leaders as this, but who you actually running with that you can say, hey man, let's have that phone call. Let's have the call yesterday. We had some good talks that had nothing to do with the monumental weekend. It had to deal with, okay, how do we handle this that was in front of us so we can keep moving towards the direction? So I think those are 2 tips that can help if you guys are thinking like, well, how do you do it? Well, that's how you do it. Like, I just know consistent effort, stay on the same habits and rituals you have, which, dude, I know exactly where you're at all times, like almost to the T, right? But it was also funny, as you do start to get these next levels, our conversation yesterday was, how do we now handle the new level that we're at? We're not the same person was at the last level, but if you keep bringing those habits to the next level, you can't go to the next. Those all the true. So
Well, that's why I think that's an understatement. You're like, have a system.
yeah,
I want to talk about that for a minute
I think so too.
because I don't think most people understand what that means, right? Because most people, I think, take life as it's handed to them,
Yep.
right? And you just get caught you jump in the river and the river takes you where it takes you, right? But the system we're talking about is, you mentioned, I wake up at 3:30. I know your schedule too.
Yes.
You wake up at 3:30, then you work out, then you do the morning meeting,
Yep.
then you get your kids ready for school,
Yep.
and then you have your first meeting. And it's like clockwork, right? Because that's the framework we dive back into, right? That's the first thing, right? Otherwise, emotions get high. I don't feel like doing something.
You don't get out of bed in the morning. You don't do it.
Exactly. Like, I'm in pain right now. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in pain, but you can follow a system in pain,
Yes.
right? If you're just in pain, you're not doing anything except feeling an emotion, which honestly is useless at times.
No. Yeah. No. No.
It's if you don't know what to do with it. By keeping activity going, right? You can use that energy in positive places, right? So the system, like, that's the understatement of the century. If you want to know the key to our success, our total success,
dude. It's
it's following our own personal system.
bro. People are like, Kobe Bryant's the best. That fool. He's at the gym at 4:00 in the morning every day. I'm like, is he really the best? I mean, he's really good, or was it his system that kept him so consistent? Because when everyone else was partying, he was that's you're hitting on the head. Like the way you handle it all is that your system. And I say it this way: we're always in attack mode.
Always.
You got to be on offense. If you're on defense, you're gonna lose, man. Like, especially in business, you have to be on offense at all times. Now, I believe the obstacle is when you play a little defense for a second. You have to do it, but we're always on the offensive. Like, I was watching someone, I won't get into who it was, but they're like, my business strategy is attack, attack, attack at all times.
Yeah.
I'm always attacking. I'm attacking the lane. I'm attacking, right? And you think about anyone that's winning, they're always attacking. And us, it's like, I'm just going to attack my system every day. That's it. And the reality is, though, your system, because when you stay with it long enough, that same system then makes you Kobe Bryant. The same guy that was shooting at home, what they say, he had no rim, like he only had a rim out back. Like, he didn't have all this, like he didn't have like a full floor basketball court. I remember I was reading about him. That same system that he was doing when he was just shooting by himself, no one watching, is the same system why he says he's the top 3 greatest basketball players ever. But what happens is when you stay with your system long enough and forever, and you don't tie into your emotions, even though you have to handle that stuff, bro, it takes you to heights that you can't get to if you don't have that. And that's what I think what makes everyone successful. Like,
Well,
it's
after
for
a while,
everybody.
the system makes you ready for the moment,
Yes.
right? I mean, this is really important, right? You don't show up to the dance without the moves, right? The system is what gives you all the right moves. And that's what I found over time, right? Like, I'm shocked how it happened. I am, but I'm not shocked that it did happen. But I'm standing here well equipped,
Yes.
right? If there's anybody on the planet that can get through this, I know for sure it's me.
Boom.
Because I was at the gym
Yes.
shooting my shots
Yeah.
at 4 a.m. And then I came back at 6, and then I came back at 8, and I took my break. And it has been so consistent throughout the years, like, oh, all I got to do is focus on this shot that I've been shooting my entire life. And the circumstances may change, right? One shot's by yourself in the gym.
Yep.
The other one might be for the championship.
Fact.
But doing it prepares you for the moment. All you got to do is block out and say, yeah, you know what? Of course I'm nervous. It's a big game. It's a big moment. It's a big shot. There's consequences.
Yep.
But I'm so ready for this, right? And you take the shot. It either goes in or it doesn't. But chances are it's going to go in because you came prepared.
Who was the dude who just hit the one in the corner, the basketball game? This happened. And they're like, did you think it was going to go in? He's like, of course I did. I shoot a shot every freaking day. Now, it went in, so he says it afterwards. If he would have missed it, he probably, but it's that same mentality. I just think, like, the overall message, and I'm glad you want to talk about the breakthroughs and this and that. Like, bro, at the end of the day, this is why I keep saying this, like, stop watching all the highlight reels on Instagram and social. It's not real, dude. Like, there's life going on behind that. Like celebrate, like you go there, you should get there and be like, to me, it inspires me. When I see people like winning, or I watched the freaking Knicks come back twice on the Celtics, down by 20. I watched Halliburton. I had a thing like, dude misses the free throw. Wait, on purpose, not on purpose, I don't know. He misses it. He goes and grabs his own rebound over 4 dudes, dribbles out to the 3-point line, hits the game-winning 3. Like, it was unbelievable. But guess what? He missed the free throw.
Right.
Then he just attacked the ball, got it, dribbled around for a while, and then drains his 3. Now, he could attack the ball, miss the 3, right? But it was his action of like, I'm going to go after and win this game, bro. And I loved it too, because like the last series, his dad got all fired. The whole family's fired up. Dude, his dad goes on, punks Giannis on the court, which I probably shouldn't do, but he's got his whole family fired up. But guess what? Now his dad, because he made one wrong decision, can't go to any of the games for the rest of the damn time. His son's balling out, right? So you're going to make right decisions. You're going to make wrong decisions. Things are going to happen. But I just think like, bro, he missed the free throw, but didn't give up. He went and grabbed the ball. Like, dude, you're going to have setbacks and failure in business and life.
Well, think
you have all this stuff, dude. It's crazy. I be watching all these metaphors in sports right now.
I know.
Come on, it was like the Celtics. Bro, did you see freaking Bridges? He should stay on the Suns. He freaking blocked him at the end over there, freaking punking Tatum. No one thought Bridges was going to be baller, dude. Bridges just kept working and working and working, right? But, dude, the Knicks up 2-0 on the dynamics. So that's like us, I feel like, right now.
Right.
There's all these massive companies. Yeah. They're like, Universal Wealth 2. Everyone else 0, right? And then in the midst of it, his dad can't come to any more games.
Yeah.
You know, like
that's life.
It's shit's going to happen. Like, bro, his son is balling out the most he's ever balled out. And his dad can't be there. And his dad goes, like, I'm saying, like, so in all the greatness, he's probably like, fuck, Dad, can you stay off the damn court? Like, I'm your boy. You know he wants his dad there. Dude, this is like a big moment. They always didn't know if he was going to be that good, right? So my point is, during all of it, there's always going to be little hiccups, but you said in the very beginning, what do you decide to focus on? Do you focus on the setback, or do you focus on the breakthrough? And I promise you, if you focus on the breakthrough, handle what you have to handle, keep aligned to what you want in your life. And that's the other problem. People don't know what the frick they want. I'm not going to give this a whole nother segment. If you don't know what you want, you're just breaking through and you're like going like this. It's like a freaking teeter-totter, right? I know Marcus said something the other day. You can't see him. He's over here. And he's like, man, it's crazy how you guys try to balance it all. Like, watch us try to balance it all. But bro, while we're balancing it all, not everyone's seeing the same lens we see. People are like, oh, your spouses just agree with it. No, mother, they're the freaking one in the game with us. Like, sometimes we're like, oh, this is, and they're like, dude, bro. Like, you know, so like, from the outside looking in, it looks like everything's just flowing like water. Sometimes it's freaking flowing. You know the one thing that what water does? When there's a rock, it just separates around and keeps going. Yeah. But it still has to break on the rock. So like everyone just thinks everything. That's to me why I kept seeing on all our shows, and I don't give a shit if we don't have the biggest views ever. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't give a shit. My thing is, be real, man. Like, life is hard as shit. And when you're winning, it's still hard. When you're losing, it's hard. Why not just fucking win? Because it's going to be hard anyway.
Yep.
That's my mentality. You know my mentality? I'm like, no matter what, I realized when I was broke as shit, it was hard. Yeah. When I have a little bit of like money, it's still hard, but at least I can take my kids to F1 this weekend and enjoy it over there watching that. But so either way, life's hard. So like you got to choose your heart, but I agree with you. Handle what you have to handle, but remember what you want in life, and then stay focused on the breakthroughs, and then everything kind of flows with it. But you got to realize, if you're the one on this watching like we are, and you're the one doing the breakthroughs, you're going to have to realize you have people with you. You're the one breaking through. You have to handle the most amount of weight on your shoulders, because that's how it goes. That's the reality. You want it? Think about it. I go to Kobe because I just think of him a lot. I'm like, dude, with all the accolades he was married, he had kids. They had to take that whole fucking village with him. That's a lot of stuff. Shaq, all these people. You watch all these people like, bro, you got a whole village trying to keep up with you. It ain't easy, bro. So you have to burden that stress a little bit. That's how it goes.
I couldn't have said better, man.
I want to be the best. Well, then you have to deal with the most, motherfucker. But even that, I'm leaving it there. Like, and that's what we said to each other last night. Like, bro, you if you want to be the best, now whatever it is you're doing, I want to be the best mom. I want to be. You have to then say, I'm going to be able to take the burden of the most. But people say they want to be the best, but they want to forget that all this stuff has to happen with it.
Yeah, they want to be the best with a second-rate attitude, a second-rate work ethic. Wait for somebody else to do it. No, you have to lead the way. You have to be the trailblazer. You got to be the one at all times.
Bro, someone's watching this right now and they feel what we're feeling. That means you're chosen. Like, step into that shit, bro. Just like, I don't know what to say is step into it. But if you ever expecting it's going to be easy, then you're missing the entire point of what this is supposed to be. It's
Yeah.
going to be a dogfight for your whole life, and just know what you want. And you got to fight for it. But if someone's watching, they're feeling what we're feeling. Just go and realize, dude, every step of the way, it's going to be another journey you have to get through. And then you'll decide, like we've been talking lately about a lot of stuff, just everything, like what things are important. What do we make sure we have? And then sometimes don't get caught up in our feelings, bro. I don't give a shit who you are. You start getting caught up in your feelings, it's
over.
It's over, dude. And that's what you said. If you believe in God or whatever you believe in, then there's an adversary to it, and the adversary wants you to not feel, wants to put the feelings in you. Oh, yeah, it's all weak shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. When you break it all down, it's a bunch of pussy ass weak shit, right? And that's what you have to tell yourself, like, oh, you're trying to get my ass, motherfucker. All right. And I think what you said is very important. Like, yeah, one day we're gonna say, you're trying to get me. Doesn't mean you're still not gonna have the human side of that emotion getting in. You start to build this up. But if anyone ever gets to the spot where like, I figured it out, you're fucking dead. You will be brought right back off the top of your hill to the bottom. And I watch it happen time and time again, because eventually you think you got there, and got where? You know what I mean? Like where? Like there's no final destination, dude. For me, it's when I'm dead. Like, I'm not gonna get into that, but there is no. Oh, I made it. I made it where? You have money? Oh, great. This sucks. You have great here, but you can't do shit. Like there's never I made it. It's just a thing called life, baby. It's a journey.
Yeah.
And I think we've been placed here, I'm talking me and you, to impact a lot of people. And I think people watching, you're supposed to do the same thing. So you just gotta deal with what we have to deal with. Self-analyze things that we can get better at, like we do. And it's not easy. And then just keep moving. And that's the name of the game.
Yeah. And you do it anyway. Do it despite the emotion.
That's it. Bro. Yeah. No one knows what happens behind the scenes. But guess what? Oh, these guys are just good. That's all you know how to do. Build your consistent habits. When you feel like you're getting hit with adversity, attack harder that's my final word. Just attack.
That's
put your
my
foot on the
word,
gas and move. And then just remember what's important to you. And then you'll be fine. That's it, baby. Oh.
Let's do it.